cool, right? Hello everybody, my name is Wild One Crazy Ninja and welcome to an IRL video. The last time my face was on camera was in 2017 when I was still in the 6th grade.
Welcome back to The Heist. Now, I am so excited because I finally got back onto this level.
And now it is 2025 and I'm showing you something that I can't really do from just behind a computer screen. I'm here with a set review of LEGO set 75252. The UCS Imperial Star Destroyer. Released back in 2019, the LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series Imperial Star Destroyer had a retail price of $700. At the time I was in the 8th grade, and I even knew that $700 LEGO set would be too much of an ask even for Santa Claus. So I put it in the back of my mind, just remembering that it was a super cool LEGO set as you see behind me. Now, I'm an adult and I get paid real money. So, when I saw this LEGO set in a bricks and minifigs store used for $750, I thought it was a steal. On the Brick Economy website, this set goes for 1.2K or even up to 1.6K sealed. So I just had to pick it up.
With a crazy 4,784 piece count, this UCS set does not skimp on any detail, with greebling and texturing everywhere. On the display stand, the Star Destroyer stands at a 17 inches tall, a 26-inch wingspan, and a massive 43 inches long. When LEGO says,
people building this set is gonna use it as a display model on the main shelf in the living room, I think.
they were not kidding. The display stand also features places for the information plaque and its 2 exclusive minifigures, which we will look at shortly. I was fortunate enough to get the original box and instruction manual with this set. The box was created before the rebrand and modernization of the UCS line, so it features a bunch of cool box art, unlike the newer black backgrounds. The front and sides of the box feature the opening scene from Star Wars A New Hope, while the back image captures the Kuwait drive yards where the Star Destroyers were originally made. Inside the box there would be 5 miniature boxes, but I bought this set used, so I'm missing the instruction manual box. Overall, the boxes showcase a seamless outline of the LEGO Star Destroyer. The instruction manual is also not something to simply skip over, because this thing is a beast. Weighing 5 pounds, this 475-page binder is extremely high quality and enhances the building experience. You're turning this massive flipbook to build this gigantic ship. It's insane. The instruction manual comes with a nice information and lore section in a ton of different languages before the start of the real instructions. Unfortunately, because of buying used, my instruction manual has a big coffee stain seeping through a good section of the book, but I'm still happy that the set came with the manual at all. Before I start critiquing and breaking down this build itself, let's go into the building experience of this behemoth. The building experience for the UCS Star Destroyer does not start with opening the box and sorting the numbered bags. It actually started with destroying the set. As I've said before, I bought the set used from a bricks and minifigs store, which means that it was fully built when I bought it. So I spent half a day at my Nana's house to deconstruct the entire set. If you've never spent time deconstructing Legos, it does a number on your fingers, and I would not recommend it. After deconstructing, I took the set back home and spent an entire day preparing the space that the set would sit and sort all of the light gray pieces. This was the most painful part of the process. I highly recommend a large space for building because this unbuilt set takes up the entire dining room table. Besides the consequences of this set being used, the building experience was amazing. It was so much fun watching the build come together, and the multitude of building techniques was impressive. I recorded the entire building process as you've been watching in the background. It does not look like a long build until I tell you that it took me about 17 hours to fully complete, and 234 gigabytes of storage for the film that I hope to delete very soon. There was some times where I had to improvise pieces or steal them from other sets in my room, but if you can notice those tiny changes that I've made to the final product, then you can get the fuck out of my house and never talk to me again. Anyways, I'm going to let this time lapse complete, and then we can go into the breakdown of the build itself. You can list the dimensions of this build 1,000 times, but it still won't convey the presence this thing has when you see it in person. The UCS Star Destroyer is a showstopper, and what's really impressive is that its sheer size does not come at the expense of any detail or any accuracy. Starting at the top layer of the ship, the designers seamlessly blended studs and tile pieces to create depth and texture all the way up to the bridge. And speaking of the bridge, get ready to hear the word greebling and the concept of greebling a lot in this breakdown. The bridge makes clever use of unique pieces and vertical layering to build up texture while still nailing the iconic details such as the shape, the adjustable tractor beam, and the 2 shield generators. Moving along the sides of the bridge, you'll find 8 armaments in total, with a mixture of heavy turbo laser cannons and ion cannons. Then we come down to the side panels, where the greebling is phenomenal, stretching across the entire length of the ship, with an additional cannon at the midpoint. One of my favorite sections to build is the back of the ship, with its 4 massive ion engines. I love how LEGO used transparent blue pieces to capture the glow. But the real surprise of this UCS set is the underneath. You'd think the bottom would be an afterthought to LEGO, since you can only see it if you crouch down and peek, but holy smokes, it is packed with detail. The same texturing treatment from the top is mirrored here on the bottom, plus you get 2 hangers in the solar ionization reactor. These hidden details, the stuff you don't even see most of the time, are what makes this an ultimate collector set, and you can feel the love the designers poured into this project. Now, moving down to the stand, this is where I have some gripes. The stand looks fine, but it feels shaky and flimsy. I think LEGO improved this issue with the UCS Venator, but here it always makes me nervous when shifting the model around on my desk. Finally, at the base of the stand, you've got the information plaque and the included minifigures. The plaque itself is good. It reminds us that this specific Imperial Star Destroyer is actually Darth Vader's flagship, the Devastator, which we see in great detail in both A New Hope and Rogue One. The only downside of this plaque is that it's a sticker and not a printed tile, which feels a little cheap on a set this premium. This set includes 2 minifigures, an Imperial officer and an Imperial crew member. Since this Star Destroyer is labeled as Darth Vader's flagship, the Devastator, it's a little disappointing that Vader himself wasn't included. But at the same time, the crew is what really keeps a ship like this running. Both minifigures are exclusive to this set and have some excellent detailing. Technically, each should have come with a small blaster, though because I bought this set used, it did not include them. The Imperial officer, a naval lieutenant, looks fantastic with his crisp uniform printing. The dual molded boots add a lot of value to this figure, but it's a shame that there is no arm printing, especially for an exclusive UCS figure. The Imperial crew member makes up for that with some really sharp printing across the torso and legs. I do wish both figures had dual molded legs for consistency, but overall they still feel premium. So while it would have been nice to see Vader, these 2 exclusive minifigures still stand out and add a lot to this set's display value.
Anyways, to wrap up this LEGO set review, I'd have to give this set an amazing out of 10. I definitely have some bias here. With this being my first UCS set, and being an absolute mammoth on display, I just really love the way the Imperial Star Destroyer looks in my room, and with the Empire and Darth Vader being some of my favorite groups and characters in the franchise of Star Wars, I'm obviously going to pick them over any Resistance or Alliance or Galactic Republic ship. Am I sad about the dent that this put in my wallet? Yes. Am I dreading the day when I have to move this from my room to my new house somewhere? Of course. Am I regretful about buying this set though? Never. And with that, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you very soon in my next video. Ba-boom. That's what we're talking about.